What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the games I did not finish in 2025. So I've gone back through all of the what I've been playing videos I have put out. That is 11 videos, pretty much all of the ones earlier in the year, the ones that I'm more focused on. I've gone back to all of those videos and came up with a list of 8 games that I have talked about in those videos before. And at some point throughout the year, I was playing through those those games and wanted to finish them, and for some reason or another, I just didn't get around to, whether I fell off with the game, I wasn't enjoying it as much, or other games were coming out. I just want to sit down and talk about the games I did not finish in 2025, and if there's any games on this list that you see that you're like, you gotta play that game, you gotta finish that game in 2026, let me know down in the comments. There's some older games, there's some newer games, so it's a good mix, and we'll talk about all of those games in this video. So without further ado, let's dive in. The first game that I want to talk about is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. This is one that way back in January I talked about in the first What I've Been Playing video, and the second one when I thought that I was going to be able to do a What I've Been Playing video every week. I talked about Ace Attorney alongside God of War. Obviously God of War did get finished, but Ace Attorney did not get finished, and I really don't know why. This is a game and really a series that I have tried before. I think it was 2022 when I played through the first game, so I have played through the first game before, but I don't remember anything about it. So I went through and I started replaying it earlier this year, and I just fell in love with the game again. It was so good. I finished the first 4 episodes, and I got to that last episode and did not finish it, and semi-recently went back to it after watching a buddy play it and was like, okay, I gotta finish this. It is so good. Everything in this game, from the writing, dialogue, the characters and their designs, to the soundtrack, and the way that the game just takes this kind of boring and just not really all that dramatic and action-filled concept of being a lawyer and turns it into this just insanely dramatic and just crazy scenario-filled game, and it just works. Somehow just works, and I really want to get back to this game. This is a game and really just a series that I want to get to in 2026, especially Ace Attorney. I want to get a video out on this. I was actually planning on making a surprise video on finishing Ace Attorney for the first time. It is not going to happen. I was going to try to do that before the end of the year, but I do for sure want to get back to this game in 2026, because, I mean, just if you've played episode 4 of the first Ace Attorney, or the first Phoenix Wright game, then you know how good this franchise is. It is so good, and I want to play through them all. There's not just the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney games, there's also Apollo Justice, there's a whole nother trilogy. There's a lot to this series that I do want to dive into, and definitely want to get back to this game hopefully in 2026. Really enjoyed what I have played. I just could not get around to finishing episode 5 of the first game. So hopefully we can get back to that game and get a video out on it in 2026. Now I want to talk about Saints Row 2. This was way back in the third What I've Been Playing episode, where I talked about playing through Saints Row 2 co-op with a buddy, and we started it. We made a decent amount of progress, just never got around to finishing it. And Saints Row is a franchise that I've dabbled in just a little bit. I think 2 is definitely the one I've played the most. I played a little bit of 4, some 3. I have access to all 4 Saints Row games, not the new one. Definitely not going to play the new one, but all of the older Saints Row games I do have access to. I haven't played 1 yet, but I've heard really good things about 1 and 2. I think 3 is pretty well received, and then 4 is where they kind of got weird with it, took it into the future, and it's still like fun, but I remember not really liking what I played out of 4 all that much. But I put a couple hours into 2 and 4, and 2 is definitely my favorite that I played. And then 3 I played just a little bit of. I don't remember it a whole lot, but these are games that I've always had interest in. They're these GTA clones that are probably the best at what they try to do, and is replicate that GTA formula. Way back in the mid to late 2000s, they were really putting out these games, and a lot of people enjoyed them, and I see why. It's just crazy, just open world sandbox goodness that you would expect from a GTA, just in this different format, but it's still just as good. Driving around in these different cars, the gangs, the characters, and the writing, the radio stations that play with great music. Just, I can see why people like these Saints Row games. It's not one that I'm like determined to get back around to with Saints Row 2, but you know, if there is time to sneak it in, these are like longer than you would think games. So I'm not going to say this is one I'll get back around to at some point, but I would definitely be down to check it out. If you guys have any interest in that, let me know down in the comments. I can definitely move it up the priority list if that's something you want to see. But Saints Row 2 is one. Played a couple hours of earlier this year. I've played it a little bit before, just did not get around to finishing it. But I did enjoy it. I have enjoyed what I've played. I just haven't gotten back into it. Split Fiction, earlier this year, back in March, one of my most anticipated games of the year came out, and that was Split Fiction, coming from Hazelight, one of, if not the best developers in the industry when it comes to co-op games, and really just in general. Way back when A Way Out came out in 2018, I believe, it really kind of took the formula of a co-op game and just ran away with it and did something that we really hadn't seen, and it just knocked it out of the park. A Way Out is such a great game, and then It Takes Two just went and dialed it up to 11, had all of these crazy gameplay moments and ideas, and the story was great in It Takes Two. Split Fiction, I was super excited for it, and I played through probably 90% of this game. I was very close to finishing this game, but I just never got around to the ending, and this is probably my biggest regret of the year, is not finishing this game and having it ready for the Game of the Year video, because I'm sure this would be in the top 10. One of my biggest regrets, for sure, the biggest regret. I really enjoyed what I had played of it. It was a lot of fun, so many creative gameplay ideas for co-op. I mean, it was so good what I played. The story, not that great, but you're not really there for the story. It would be nice if it had like a pretty solid one, but what I had played, it was just there. But the gameplay is what you come to a Hazelight game for, and they knocked it out of the park. Having that different dynamic of the fantasy and sci-fi between the two characters and the stories that they write, I thought was such a cool idea. And all the different gameplay moments, the side stories being thrown in there as something that you don't have to do, but you want to explore, you want to try to find these, because they can get super creative with these as well. You can tell they just had so much fun. This is a Game of the Year contender. It wasn't nominated at the Game Awards for Game of the Year, but it definitely could have been, and this is one that I'm definitely regretting not getting around to and finishing for my list, but it is still a great game, and definitely one. This and It Takes Two I've actually not finished yet. It Takes Two I was probably about 80% of the way through. I did finish A Way Out, so I still have not finished It Takes Two and Split Fiction, so those might be candidates possibly for a 2026 my first time finishing video. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, Split Fiction, the biggest regret of the year of me not getting around to finishing it. And now let's talk about Avowed. I've just most recently talked about this game in the What I've Been Playing episode number 11 video, and at the very end I talked about maybe getting around to it, but not holding out any hope of just having the time to, and I've just decided I'm not going to worry about it. This is one that I wanted to get back to, but I just don't want to try and cram in a 20 to 30 hour RPG when I want to finish Ghost of Yotei. I want to finish Hades 2. Those are the two big games I have left for the year, and those are probably going to take 40 to 50 hours each to finish. So I decided I'm not going to go back to Avowed and finish it for the Game of the Year list. This is a game that came out back in February. Played it. I think I got through Act 1. I was kind of on and off with it. And from what I played, I enjoyed it. I think that There were some things about it that I wasn't like a huge fan of, but I liked the art style, whether you could kind of combine and strategize, mess with the different weapons you could dual wield. You could pretty much dual wield whatever you wanted. If you wanted to dual wield a spell book and an axe, a sword and a gun, you could just kind of mix and match and do whatever you wanted with it, and I was having fun with that. The story I thought was, solid from what I had played. The companions that I had so far weren't the best. I mean, this was a game that I thought I could come back to, and I would have some fun with it. I would get some enjoyment out of it, but I didn't know if it was going to make my top 10 for the entire year. I definitely think out of the 2 RPGs that I played from Obsidian, that being what I played of Avowed and also Outer Worlds 2, which I still need to make a review on, Outer Worlds 2, definitely the better pick, but I could be wrong about that. Who knows? I have not finished Avowed. This is one that I might consider coming back to for 2026, but it's not going to be at the top of the priority list. I do have some games already in the works that I want to finish in like that first quarter of the year, but we'll see how the year goes. It's going to be another stacked year of new games, but in terms of Avowed, I enjoyed what I played. It's a very colorful world. I thought they did a great job with the art style, the Pillars of Eternity universe, which I have never played those games. It being set there, art style was great, the character designs were great. I think overall I thought I was going to go in and get a solid experience just going back to it. So this isn't one that I absolutely wanted to play for sure. I was going to try to get back to, but with the games that came out and just time constraints, I decided I am going to drop this game. Maybe get back to it next year, who knows. But I did enjoy what I played with Avowed, just didn't have the desire to go back to it and try to cram it in there before the end of the year. Atomfall, which is another game that came out earlier in the year. I believe it was March when it came out. Coming from Rebellion Studios, I forgot what their second name is, but coming from Rebellion, the developer behind the Sniper Elite games. I was super excited when this game got announced. I believe it was last year at maybe the Xbox show in the summer, and the fact that they were finally making something that wasn't Sniper Elite or wasn't Zombie Army, that wasn't the Sniper Elite franchise, super excited about, because there's absolutely talent there. But I just thought doing Sniper Elite over and over and over again, not changing up the setting at all, and just doing it over and over was getting kind of redundant and tedious, at least to me. I've never really gotten into Sniper Elite games. I was always curious to see what would happen if they would change the setting up and do maybe like a Vietnam Sniper Elite. I feel like that'd be really cool. But they take a different approach and go with Atomfall, which is set in this World War II setting, but it kind of has like an alternate history feel to it, and I think that's where it kind of goes with its story. I didn't put a whole lot of time into Atomfall. I think I might have put 3 or 4 hours into it, and what I did play was solid. It was okay. Definitely wasn't the biggest fan of it. Not really my type of thing. I really enjoyed the world. I thought the game looked great, and what it was going for gameplay wise, I enjoyed. But there was just something about it, I just wasn't really vibing with it, and this is one that I decided to just kind of drop off of early before I got super into it. I think the last thing I did was get to a pretty big story beat, but I just dropped it. I decided to drop it. Maybe there were some other games that were coming out around then as well that kind of pushed me away from Atomfall. This isn't one that I see myself coming back to, but this is one that I've heard a lot of people enjoy. It kind of has like that good to maybe even great reception to it. It's gotten some DLCs, so there's definitely still some love for Atomfall, and I would definitely like to see Rebellion do something different again. They're probably still going to do Sniper Elite just because a lot of people love that series, but I hope that they continue to go outside of that series and use their talents to just do something new, do something creative. I really hope they continue to do that. So Atomfall being that first step out of Sniper Elite is good enough for me. Couldn't get into it, but I've heard a lot of people did. Just not one that I got into and see myself going back to in the future. Blueprints. This took the industry by storm when it came out back in April, I believe. And man, everyone was just talking so much about Blueprints, and it just caught everyone off guard. no one really saw it coming, but when it came out and people started to play it and they started talking about it, everyone kind of started to look into Blueprints and be like, wow, okay, this is a sleeper hit. I was the same way. I had no idea what this game was. Heard so many people talking about it and so many people saying that not only was this one of the best games of the year, maybe even their games of the year, but one of the best games of all time. I was like, I have to check it out. I don't remember how much time I put into it. I want to say it was somewhere between 10 and 20 hours. I did sink a good bit of time into it, and I could see where that gameplay loop came from. It had such a unique way of going for that roguelike formula where each run you are progressing, but the way that you progress is through the information that you gain, not only about the mansion that you're going into, but how rooms work, how puzzles work, how the game works. It is such a smartly developed game. The concept of it, looking for the secret hidden 46th room in the mansion that no one's been able to find. Such a great concept that got me hooked right away. This is one that I could definitely see me going back to in the future when there's enough time to kind of sink my teeth into it. But this is a game that I know is going to be on a lot of people's top 10 lists, maybe even a lot of people's game of the year. This was a big surprise for a lot of people, and I can definitely see why. I enjoyed what I played of it. Just the loop of getting all these rooms put together in such a way to get to the top of the house and potentially get to that hidden 46th room, and each room telling a story, and just the way that the game gives you new gameplay mechanics to mess with like a good roguelite should do. I can definitely see why a lot of people love it. I just did not get around to finishing it. It's a great game from what I played. I can definitely tell you that. Just did not get around to finishing it. Another regret, sort of. I mean, this isn't one that I'd want to go back to and finish super badly, like Split Fiction. That's definitely more my type of game than Blueprints is. But I can definitely see where the love for Blueprints comes from. Just not one that I was dying to go back to. But it is a great game from what I played. Not one that I might go back to. I don't know. We'll see how things go. But definitely expect to see this one on a lot of people's top 10 lists, if not even their game of the year. Just won't be on mine. Did not get around to finishing it. This one's not a game but a DLC, but Sea of Stars: Throes of the Watchmaker. This came out back in, I believe, May or June. It was right in that area. And Sea of Stars is one of my favorite games from 2023. It was such a sleeper hit. Did not expect that game at all to be as good as it was. The art style, the music was so good in Sea of Stars. The turn-based gameplay that I was not a fan of. I am not a turn-based person. There's very few games that turn-based for me just works, and I'm not really sure what it is about it. But Sea of Stars had a great turn-based system for me that I was able to get into it and really enjoy it. Great characters, great writing, and a free DLC that was a solid, good amount of content for a DLC came out. And I put a good bit of time into it for what it was. I don't remember how long it was supposed to be. I probably played through maybe like a third or a fourth of it, so I didn't get super far, but definitely wanted an excuse to go back to this game. Started it, just didn't get around to finishing it. Other games were out. I think that was maybe around the time that Doom came out, I feel like. Just didn't get around to finishing it. DLCs this year were one thing that I think was a blind spot. I wanted to finish this. Another DLC that I didn't even get to play was Indiana Jones and the Order of Giants. That might be a 2026 video somewhat. I don't know. We'll see. Because these are DLCs for games that I really enjoyed, that I wanted an excuse to go back to. Just more content. Just didn't really feel like finishing this Sea of Stars DLC. I really want to say it was because of the games that I was playing at the time, and I just decided to drop it. But I will be going back at some point to play more Sea of Stars. They did a great job with this game, and I want to give this DLC a shot and finish it and make a video on it, because this game deserves more love. If you haven't checked out Sea of Stars, go check it out. It is a great game. It's a longer game than you would expect. I feel like it took me about 20 to 30 hours to finish the main story, but it's got so many great characters, writing, and like I said already, the music is fantastic. It's one of my favorite soundtracks in this decade. It's one of my favorite soundtracks. It is that good. Sea of Stars, Those the Watchmaker. Hopefully I'll get back around to this at some point next year. It's short, should be able to get through it pretty quick. Just when I can find the time to do it, I will definitely be going back. And finally, the last game that I want to talk about is Ratchet & Clank 2016. This is one that I believe I started in August, and what I played I really enjoyed. I just thought it was this really great platformer, kind of action platformer game with really funny dialogue, and just kind of takes you back to that. It kind of felt nostalgic for some reason. I don't know why. This is the first Ratchet & Clank game I played. I heard so many good things about it. The newer games and even the older games. There's a lot of Ratchet & Clank games. Decided to start with 2016 and played, I want to say, 5 or 6 hours. I didn't get super far into it, but from what I did play, I really enjoyed. This is one that I definitely do want to get back to. I want to play this and Rift Apart, and then maybe even go back to the older Ratchet & Clank games and see what they're all about. But I definitely want to get through the modern Ratchet & Clank games. I kind of want to just make sure, and I want to play all the Insomniac games. You know, I've been going through, I've done Spider-Man, I've done Spider-Man Miles Morales, I haven't done Spider-Man 2, maybe watch out for that, we'll see. But Ratchet & Clank is also a game that they have done, Resistance as well, they've done a lot of games. Ratchet & Clank is a blind spot that I have with PlayStation that I definitely want to get around to and play. I've heard a lot of good things, especially about Rift Apart. When that game came out in 2021, a lot of people were having it in their top 5. Some people even had it as their game of the year. So this is a series that I want to get into, and I think 2016 is a good starting point. And what I did play of it, I really enjoyed. So I will definitely be going back and finishing Ratchet & Clank, probably in 2026 at some point. Not a super long game. I want to get the platinum on it. That was my goal when I started it, was to get the platinum in Ratchet & Clank, and that is what I'll do when I go back to it, probably next year. So that is going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching, hanging out, talking about the games that I did not get to finish in 2025. Let me know in the comments, what games did you play this year? Newer, older, whatever it is. What did you not get to finish in 2025? What are your biggest gaming regrets in 2025? Whether it be newer games or older games. Let me know down in the comments. Let's have a discussion about that. There you can tell, I could definitely probably pull more games from the what I've been playing videos. There's probably some hidden in there that I just didn't see, but these are the 8 games that I saw that I decided to pull, that I felt like I wanted to talk about the most when it comes to not finishing them, because big regrets with some of these games like Split Fiction, and hopefully you might see most of these games in a video next year. We'll see how it goes, but that is going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more, and I'll talk to you later.